Hey, listen, did you know that there's another sport to watch this time of year in Buffalo besides, well, football and hockey? It's women's roller derby. That's right. Our Eyewitness News cameras were there to catch all the action. Watch this.
I don't hear anybody making any noise.
Are you really ready for some roller derby? I said, are you ready?
Girls skate really hard and really fast.
Expect girls flying everywhere.
It's not choreographed, it's not staged, it's not scripted. It's live athletes in action.
Lots of checking. Lots of knocking people down. Lots of screaming. It's awesome.
There's very few sports that allow women to gear up in full safety gear and knock the heck out of each other and call it a sport and still have some naughty good fun. We start off with the old-fashioned quad roller skates. We do not skate on inline. Then, of course, followed by knee pads, elbow pads, wrist guards, helmet, and mouth guard. Pretty much any gear you could wear in a kickboxing tournament, you can wear on skates. It's really confusing for people who walk in and try to watch, but after a jam or two, and a jam is a scoring opportunity, they catch on. On the first whistle, the pack takes off. On the second whistle, the jammers take off. And scoring begins after their initial pass through the pack. You have to have a thick skin, because sometimes a hit comes from behind you or somebody will fall behind you and take you out. I've had 3 concussions, torn meniscus in my knee, ruptured the bursa sac in my hip, broke my thumb, and pulled cartilage away from the bone in my shoulder. If you've got a reliable partner at home, they meet you at the door, take your bag in, and then they ask you, how many ice packs do you need? And the correct answer is, how many do we have? What happens on the track stays on the track. So we all go to the same bar for the after party afterward, and we're all friends. But during the game, when we hate each other for real. The camaraderie of the over 100 people in this league is phenomenal.
There's nothing like it. Roller derby is so unique. Great way to see women in action. Yeah, guaranteed to love it.
How cool. We want to thank photojournalist Jerry Rout, who got involved in that story. And here with us this morning are 3 of the players. Dawn Schoenhals, better known as Dawn O'Mite from the Nickel City Knockouts. Michelle Johnson, known as Enforcer from the Suicidal Saucies. And we have Bridget Kelly, who is here as B-17, also from the Knockouts. Ladies, good morning.
Good morning.
I think if I could skate, I had found my sport. I love this. This is great. And everybody talk about just venting and having a good time out there. And as our spokesperson in the piece said, Dawn, this is not faked. I mean, this is not like professional wrestling where this is choreographed. Those falls hurt.
Yes, they do. They hurt very bad.
In fact, you took a dive in one of these, unfortunately. You went down hard.
Yeah, but I got right back up.
Yes, you did. Yes, you did. Now, obviously, to get involved in this, you have to be a pretty good skater, I would say. You have to be really, no, Bridget, no? You saying?
I could not skate when I started.
Really?
I didn't know how. They taught me how. It took me, I mean, this is my 3rd season. I'm still not the best player, but we'll work with you, you know.
Yeah.
I learned to do it, and a lot of it's confidence. You just have to believe you can.
I love it. Michelle, can you explain how points are scored? Now, I know in this particular bout, and we do call them bouts, the Saucies won 106-46. How do you score?
Well, the jammer, which is the skater with the star on their helmet, they score a point for their team each time they pass an opponent in the pack.
I see. Okay, so there's judges watching to keep counting.
There's a bunch. We have referees that are in the middle, and there's a jammer ref that just follows the jammer around and counts how many points that they're accruing and watches their penalties, while the other refs are focusing on the rest of us, the blockers in the pack, and making sure we're not accruing any penalties. Because it's like hockey.
Yeah.
There's a penalty box. There's penalties. You can get ejected from the game.
Oh. All right. So, Dawn, tell us, what are penalties? What can't you do to the person trying to get past you?
Well, you can never back block. You can never touch an opponent's back.
Okay.
So you have to put your arms back like that. You cannot hit above the shoulders.
All right.
You cannot hit below the knees.
Okay.
You can hit in the front.
Can't trip then?
No tripping.
No tripping.
Can't do anything like
you
that.
can't block
No push.
people out of bounds.
There's no elbowing or pushing. You can't use your
can't
hands.
do that.
You can't grab. You can't shove.
Right.
And how long are the penalties?
It's 1 minute for a major, and then 4 minors equals a major, which is another minute in the penalty box.
Wow. Bridget, did you ever get thrown out of a game?
No, I actually have never been to the penalty box.
Oh, wow. We have clean play in B-17
Well.
down there. Tell us about some of this equipment, because we heard in the piece that you don't wear inline skates. Why not? Why not? Why hasn't the sport gone to inline skates?
You can go faster on inlines, but you're not as nimble, and you can't. We really need a lot of side-to-side stability. Like if you notice, sometimes our skating stance is pretty wide.
Yeah.
You really have a lot more stability on the inline skates.
A little better
and
balance.
on the wide skates, and they just look cooler.
Yeah, they definitely look cooler. And I understand these can cost over $1,000, these skates.
Well, they're a few $100s. You're probably paying $350 for a good pair of skates. And then you have to maintain them, wheels, bearings.
Wow.
And not to mention the rest of our protective gear, which costs a couple $100.
Does each team have like a chiropractor on staff? Honest to goodness. I mean, you're leaving there with some major bruises.
We do have a sports trainer with us this year that helps with injuries. So if we have any questions about, a twisted ankle, or if we need something iced or taped up, she'll help us with that.
But you girls have lives when you're not on the rink. I mean, we want people to know these are your everyday people. You might see these girls ordinarily in a nurse's office. You might see them at the doctor's. You might see them as a secretary to your boss.
They might be your doctor.
They might be. Dawn, what do you do when you're not skating?
Well, I run Metzger's Pub in West Seneca.
There you go. But don't mess with her, okay? What about?
I work at the University of Buffalo.
University of Buffalo? What do you do?
I'm an office manager for the University Apartments.
Michelle, do they know you do this?
Yes, they do. They're probably watching me right now.
Yeah, Bridget, what do you do?
I've done a bunch of things. I actually quit a job to do roller derby. I used to be a waitress. At the moment, I'm mostly doing freelance writing.
Okay.
I'm looking for a job if anyone's hiring.
But I bet nobody messes with you girls. I love it. I think this is great.
We have a lot of teachers in the league, nurses.
There are a lot of teachers.
It's amazing.
Wow, good. So the nurses can help everybody else who might be nursing some kind of a bump and bruise. We want people to know you call the games bouts, and you literally have your next bout at the Rainbow Rink. That's where all the games take place in Tonawanda. And there's 4 teams now?
Yes.
Okay, and so the nice thing is that we can guarantee Buffalo will have a championship because all the teams come from the Queen City Roller Girls, right?
Yes.
So we have, let's name the teams. We have
Alley Cats, Suicidal Saucies,
right?
Nickel City Knockouts, and the Devil Dollies.
All right, and who's in first place? Do we have any idea right now?
The Suicidal Saucies are undefeated from last season, and we've only had one bout this season, which the Saucies did win.
That's incredible. That's great. Girls, this is fun. You going to stay with it?
Oh, yeah.
Having a good time?
It's each year I'm like, oh, do I want to go back? Because it is a huge time commitment. And I have to. I can't stay away from roller derby. I've played sports all my life, and I can't imagine doing anything else.
Well, don't stop because we love it. Absolutely. And remember, everybody, bigger crowds every week. The next bout is Saturday, January 24th. Go! Yell your brains out. Have a good time. Tickets are only $10 in advance.
And we sell beer.
And no kidding.
Beer
they sell beer and no little kids in the front row, okay? All right. Phone 491-0949 or log on today. These girls are a blast. The Queen City Roller Girls. Promotional consideration provided by the Queen City Roller Girls.